Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and this is the video where I make my predictions for match day 2 in the Bundesliga. I did quite a good on match day 1. I got almost like 17 to 18 points out of 27, so it was quite a good match day 1 for me in my predictions. So I'm hoping to continue that streak this week as well. The point system is quite simple: 3 points if my entire result prediction is true, but 2 points if my prediction is true but the score is not right. So you guys should play along with me. You can make your prediction in the comment section below, and we will see who gets the most points by the end of the weekend. So let's start. The first game is a Union Berlin versus FC St. Pauli. I mean, a Union Berlin, they played a 1-0 draw against Mainz. It was quite a boring game, to be very honest with you. I said that they are Union Berlin are gonna struggle a bit, quite a bit this season. They are not gonna have that special season that their fans have grown accustomed to. But I think they are playing a FC St. Pauli side that had a good game against Hoffenheim. They should have scored in that game. I think if they scored that first goal, they something could have changed, but they did not. They were not able to. They did not take their chances, and this time around they are going away to Union Berlin, as I said. And I think it's their first home game, and Union Berlin would want to get their first win of the season, and I think I am going to give it to them. I think they are just better than a St. Pauli, because I have St. Pauli finishing at 18. I think they are going to go straight back down, and they are and how the wistfulness from them from last week. I think I've seen. You can in a way you have seen enough to know that it's not going to be a good season for them. I'm going for a 2-0 easy win for Union Berlin. The next game is Werder Bremen versus Dortmund. Werder Bremen played a 2-2 entertaining game against Augsburg. It was quite a fun game. I think they played a really good game of football, and I think they deserved to get a point out of them, both of them. So they would like to build on that and try to get a win. They are playing Dortmund. They won their game, but I don't think they were really that good against Frankfurt. Frankfurt, I said that in my review as well. They were lucky that Frankfurt did not really did not really try. They were not really up for it on that day, so Dortmund got lucky. Jamie Gaddings were their savior in that game, so Dortmund would want to improve this weekend. I think it is going to be quite an interesting game, and this is Nuri Sahin's first away game as a manager, so that is going to be play a part as well. I think it will be very tight this game, but I think Dortmund edges it just barely. I'm going for a 2-1 Dortmund win. The next game is Holstein versus Wolfsburg, and both of these teams lost last week. Both of these teams lost with the same scoreline, 3-2, and I think both of them would want to forget that and try to build on it. Holstein, they were playing their first game in the Bundesliga. They were really good playing a Hoffenheim side, but I think it was just a Kramarich's day that day, and he was really good. His hat-trick was the reason that Holstein could not win the game, and they would want to improve on that. They are at home. It is going to be a great atmosphere, their first home game in Bundesliga, so you know it is going to be quite entertaining. They are playing Wolfsburg, who lost to Bayern. I think they would be a bit disappointed that after turning the game around, they went 1-0 down, they turn it around to 2-1, then they give away that silly goal. I think that would really disappoint them, and then they go ahead and they concede the third as well. But I would say they would be, they would be disappointed with the result, but quite happy with that performance. And I think based on that, and even though it is Holstein Kiel's home game, it's their first home game in the Bundesliga, I am going with the away side in this game, and I think Wolfsburg are gonna win it quite convincingly in the end. I think it is going to be a 3-1 win for Wolfsburg, and Holstein Kiel unfortunately is going to be a second defeat in a row for them. The next game is Stuttgart versus Mainz, and I mean, Stuttgart did not have the start that they would have wanted. For the first 6 minutes, it was perfect. Their new signing Demirovic scores an overhead kick, and they get the lead, and you're like, okay, Stuttgart is there. But Freiburg came back. They scored 3 goals, and Stuttgart did not have any answer to that. After that, after that first goal went in, they just lost their head, and they did not really play very well. They did not create any chances in that game. So they lose again. They are playing against a main side who played quite an entertaining game against a Union Berlin. To be very honest with you, it was a 1-all draw. They were really good, but I don't but they did not do enough for me to get the win in game. And the way that Stuttgart played, I think this game is quite it will be quite interesting in a way, but quite entertaining. But I don't think any of them are going to do enough again this week. I think it will be a draw again. I am going for a 1-all draw between Stuttgart and Mainz. The next game is Frankfurt versus Hoffenheim. And Frankfurt, they lost to Dortmund 2-0, but I think they played really good in that game. They are playing in Hoffenheim side who had a good game against Holstein Kai. So again, it is going to be quite an interesting game, and I will be very honest, it's quite a tough one to call. Frankfurt are at home, but like I don't know why I'm just tempted to give it to the away side. I mean, they did not do enough against Dortmund to give you confidence in them, and Hoffenheim were really good at their home, even though it was against Holstein Kiel, but I think they have been really good. So that is why I'm going with an away win for Hoffenheim. I think they are gonna edge it. They win a 2-1 against Frankfurt. The next game is Bochum versus Mönchengladbach, and I mean, if there was one game that everybody was excited to see, that was Mönchengladbach versus Leverkusen. What a way to start the Bundesliga. Well, they lost 3-2, that is correct, but they played really good in that game, and I think it is going to continue in this game as well. They are playing against a Bochum side who were terrible against Leipzig. They were like, there's no doubt about that. Leipzig were very good, and they were Bochum are lucky that they only conceded 1 goal. They did not concede more than 1 goal, to be very honest with you. So yeah, and the way that Mönchengladbach played against Dortmund, not Dortmund, Leverkusen, sorry, I think they are going to have their first win this week, and it's going to be a 2-1 win again for Mönchengladbach. It's becoming quite 2-1s, right? I will change it up. They are going to win. It's going to be a 3-1 win for Mönchengladbach, because I think Bochum will score, but Mönchengladbach, I have said in my previews, I have said in my prediction as well, I've been very impressed with their transfer business. I think they have made great signings, and I think they are going to help them as well. Prindist already has started scoring for them, so it is looking really good for them. Then it's Leverkusen versus Leipzig, last year's champions versus last year's team who finished 4th. So it is quite a big game in Bundesliga. Leverkusen were quite good against Mönchengladbach. They won the game on last second on the penalty. So I think they know that they got in a way a bit lucky last week. Leipzig themselves, they were really good against Bochum, to be very honest with you. They just did not finish their chances off. So I think it's going to be quite a close game. On the basis of last week, I just don't know, should I go it for, because Leverkusen go and get those late goal, should I go for that or just use my head and go for the obvious one? I think it is not going to be a win for either of them. I think it will be a draw, an entertaining draw. I am going for a 2-all draw between Leverkusen and Leipzig. The next game is Heidenheim versus Augsburg, and I think Heidenheim, they won against Holstein Kiel 2-0 last week. That was the last game on match day 1. Augsburg, they won. They play a 2-all draw, and that was quite an entertaining draw, quite an interesting game as well. They were really good. I liked Augsburg. I have said, I think I in my preview and in my prediction, both of them I've said it is the transfer business that they have done is quite good, and it is going to be interesting how they manage the Europe the league game with the European games. But they were really good in their first game, and they are playing in Heidenheim side who had a good game against Holstein Kiel. Heidenheim, I have tipped to, I think, finish above Augsburg, and the reason is that Heidenheim are not in Europe, so I think it is going to be a close game. I'm going for a 1-all draw in this one. Now I feel like I have given a lot of draws, I don't know why, but I think Heidenheim are going to it will be very close. It will be entertaining, I'm sure about that, but I think it will be a 1-all draw. And the last game for match day 2 is a Bayern versus a Freiburg. Now I have said this in the previews, I said in the prediction, I said in the review, Bayern are gonna struggle. They I will be very honest, I think they got lucky in that game last week against Wolfsburg. If that own goal doesn't happen, I think Wolfsburg would have gone on to win that game, because Bayern were under real pressure in that game. And I think Vincent Company got lucky. Luck was with him on that day. They are at home against a Freiburg side who were really good. And they won the game 3-1 against Stuttgart. So it is like they are coming in a form team. It is going to be Company's first game at the Alliance Arena. So the pressure will be on him, yeah, you expect Bayern to win this game, even though Company is the manager. Like I keep on saying that I don't think he's the right guy, but even with him, I think they are gonna make sure that they get the win. It will be close game. I think Freiburg score, so I will go for a 2-1 win for Bayern Munich in this game. So yeah, with that, predictions for the Bundesliga are done. We'll see how many of them I get correct. Let me know your predictions in the comment section below, so we can see who gets most of them right, whether I get more points or you guys get more points at the end of the weekend. So that is it for me in this video. Like the video, share it as well, click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel, so we can achieve our target of getting to 300 subscribers before the month of September ends. Until next time, bye bye.